Yo, hello, and welcome to this little training session I have for you guys. This is mostly for the people that are mobile, and I hope you guys are able to keep up because this is a little bit of information that you're definitely going to need if you're going to try and play mobile on touchscreen. First things first, as you already know, Droid buttons is probably going to be the biggest thing, the biggest game changer to everything that you're going to do. Basically, it's the most effective plugin that we mobile players have. And well, yeah. So, one of the biggest and absolute biggest issues I have with VO is the fact that their layout is so awful. The original layout is just probably the worst layout anyone could ever have for any game. Um, Due to the fact that strafing, you literally cannot go up or down. You literally can't do that. Two simple things. You can't do that, but you can go side to side, which is just, that's it, but not up and down, which, is probably going to be very crucial for you to be able to strafe in circular patterns. So, Droid Buttons is here to help. Basically, as you can tell, I already have a lot of buttons set up. A lot of them I probably don't even use anymore. I think this is roll. Yeah, this is roll. And this is, I have zero clue. Oh, thrusting. Yeah. The ones that I'm talking about are the two little buttons, two little circles. On the side, I have the targeting button, which is target enemy, target front, and then target enemy, which is the nearest red dot. These two don't make any uses other than fight assist, the ones that are blank. Um, you can clearly tell turbo as well. Turbo. Activate is for activating, and then there's fire for auto fire or enable auto fire, basically allowing me to fire without having to actually press the button, which is going to be a big is also a really big thing for us mobile players. But anyways, onto the bigger things. What I want most people to do when they're on mobile, this is a big secret that I don't really tell people. Basically, I want you to remove default interfaces. This little check mark right here. This little check mark. Remove default interfaces. That will unlock everything. Everything that you have. It will clear everything off from your interface, and it'll basically be blank. Like, blank. So, once that's done, we're going to go on to the bigger things. As you can tell, I could already strafe. Basically, strafing from the left to the right, up, down, which is probably the biggest thing that changes for us mobile players again. So, to do that, we're going to need to go back to basics. As you could already tell, I already have mine set up already, but we're going to do it here. You're going to do add. Here, you're going to probably not want to do anything here. This is dumb stuff. You don't need this. Actually, we're going to probably go over width and height later on, and I'll show you what those are. But we're going to go into field. Field. On the x-axis, you already know what, I hope you know what the x-axis is, the left and right, not up and down, you know. So, for the x-axis, I want you to click on strafe left and right. Don't worry about invert or mouse look unless you like that. I don't know if you guys enjoy that, but yeah. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about relative or nonlinear. They don't really matter at all. And then, so next up is the y-axis. Same thing. I want you to click on strafe left and right. There we go. Now, we put touch to place. We don't do anything else. We put touch to place. As you can tell, this is a really small circle. I'm sure you can tell right here. This is not going to help us at all. So, what I want you to do is go back on to just click on the little cancel up on your left, and you just click. There you go. Over here, we see width and height. I want you to change the width to probably around 630, and height could be 530. This should somewhat change it. Oh, come on. This should somewhat change it to the point that. Oh, no, that's not it. Um, yeah, let's make it 630. 630. Um, there we go. And now you see it's basically the same. Yep, that's the kind of circle you want. Unless you got a smaller phone. I'm not sure how those smaller phones are. I have an iPhone X Max, so big phone. Um, but this gives you more ability to keep your finger on the button, not have it so cramped up in one space. So once you're done with that, you put save, and then you move on to the next. Next up is going to be turning. Turning is going to be the same thing. You're going to have to probably gonna, yep, there we go. So turning is going to be turn and turn. I have to quickly check and see how it works for mine. Disconnect. There we go. So for me, I have turn and pitch. That's what I was wondering for a moment if I had it wrong. So for your turn, for your x-axis, I want you to do it for turn. That will allow you to basically turn from left to right without having to, worry. Um, and for the y-axis, I want you to press on pitch. Pitch is to turn up and down. And the same thing again. I want you to put the width and height to 630, save, and then same thing, touch in place. Put it wherever you think is comfortable. Keep in mind, all these buttons that you see on my interface, they've been there because I have focused on what is comfortable with me, and it helps a lot because this is just customized for me only. I don't want you to copy my style. I don't want you to copy whatever button placement I have. I want you to come to copy your own style, to copy the way that you're going to work. What's more effective for you. And that's important. So, once you're done figuring out where you want to place it, blah blah blah, then you can save. Next up is going to be targeting. And this is a big issue for many people because I had to take a while to figure out what to do for targeting. Um, they don't give you any coding. They don't give you any code for targeting. I had to ask some people. But basically, what you're going to do here is for targeting enemies. Targeting enemies is going to be the biggest button you're going to really want. And it could be normal. It can be normal size or anything. So you put in the title. Don't worry about going into field. You stay in button. You put target enemy on your title. That's going to show on the button itself so you don't get confused. And over here where you see button command, short press, long press cancel, just worry on short press. Type in radar next nearest enemy. What you see right here. Type that in. Then do the same thing. Touch, place, wherever you want to, and there you go. Save and do the same to the other ones. Keep in mind while you're doing these, I want you to press add for each time that you're gonna add a new button. Just quick reminder, press add every time because that means a new button's coming up. So next up is targeting front. For me, I believe targeting front is just an easier way of clicking on things instead of having to you know move your fingers in an offside position where you're trying to click on the little thing, the little whatever it's in front of you. This is much easier. So, same thing, put the title, target front, then type that in, and same thing. After that's all done, those are your basic commands as far as, wanting to fire and all that. This is where we're going into, yeah, firing your weapons. So, basically what I want you to do, um, for me, I have them nicknamed Gat and Flare due to obvious reasons, but for important reasons, when you're getting ready to set up your firing buttons, which is your primary guns, and then your secondary guns, same thing goes for these. Button, title, put it to whatever, so primary fire, basically. Just put primary. And then for short command, just press on short press and type this in. That will allow you to fire your primary guns. Same thing for the other one. Ah, same thing for the other one. Button, title, flare, and then shoot. Same thing. Works perfectly. Touch to press, and there you go. Um, as you can tell, I changed mine to be more wider, as you can tell, with width and height. Um, basically, I can click without having to worry about missing the button. And with my GATs, same thing. They're there because I also play a signature style, which is the claw style, apparently. That's what it's called. But that's how I play. I would suggest you guys getting comfortable with different styles because playing with two fingers doesn't exactly always work, and it's very hard to do when you're trying to use like gats and flares or newts and flares. If you're trying to use two different weapons, it's very it's very important that you learn how to use more than just two fingers. So yeah. Um, next up, activation. Being able to jump. Basically, here's what you just have to type in. That's it for activating, and that will allow you to jump. Next up, turbo. Turbo is pretty easy. Gotta find it right here. Turbo, same thing. Plus turbo. That's all you gotta type in. Um, sadly, you gotta hold it. But when you're trying to, when you do your little those macro button things, just do that, and it'll stay on turbo forever. So yeah. Um, what's next? As far as everything else goes, it's up to your choice on whether you want to add different buttons like rolling, or if you want to add the flight assist off or on, or the fire auto fire on and off. Honestly, I think fire auto fire on and off is probably a good choice. And for that one, I would say here it is, right here. Type that in, toggle auto fire, and do your placement. But yeah, other than that, everything else should be pretty ordinary, pretty simple. But as far as everything goes, those are your controls, and those are what's going to help you to kill more people. And that's everything that one could ever hope for. So, um, anything else is, yeah, there's your lesson. Peace.